The phrase "not my proudest fap" implies the existence of a proudest fap. What is that? Stood up and my legs gave out. Started laughing. Did that at a place I worked. Was in the restroom, private bathroom, and no one was in the building, and I was taking care of business. Heard the office phone ring, stood up, fell in the bathroom floor. I did that once just getting out of bed. Ended up pretty badly spraining my ankle and tweaking my knee. The orgasm one sounds way more fun. Once, while laying flat on my back, I managed to ejaculate over my head onto the wall behind me. I sort of wish I had that one on video. How much you wanna make a bet I can come over the mountains? We woulda won state if coach woulda just put me in. Sees Napoleon writing in. Watch this. Furiously starts jerking it. My first one. I felt proud knowing that I could do it. I respect it. I thought I had some pee disease, so I spent maybe half an hour sitting in the toilet trying to pee. Sam. I was like, yeah bro, I can ejaculate, I am a man. Dude fucking same, it didn't even click that I nutted. Shot a load into my own eye before school one morning. Later I was sent home for having pink eye. Proudest fap. Yeah, this is big brain time. Pink third eye. Makes sense, the gun jumper had a third eye blind. Fellas, you ever comb in your eye to get out of work? I was somehow able to orgasm twice in a row. I just kept going after the first one and pretty immediately came again. Only did it once in my life. I've been chasing the fabled double fap ever since. I can't do it. Maybe it wasn't real. Maybe it was just a dream. Did that once in the shower. Got done cleaning myself real good, turned around and the shower spray hit the head of my dick, immediate second orgasm. It was a pretty good day. Just about to log off to literally go try this. I'd quit, but one day I got randomly extremely horny, fapped for like maybe 5 strokes to absolutely nothing and got off. Never happened before or after, but that was pretty cool. When I was around 12 to 13 I found porn on YouTube. It was basically clothed lesbians making out. Anyways, I was super into it and just kept watching one video after the other. 3 hours in and I jizzed on myself without touching myself a single time. I had no idea what it was at the time since I've never jerked off before and I've never seen any porn before that day. I drank mango juice before all this happened, so when it did I thought the jizz was related to the mango juice I drank. I was a very confused boy at the time. Lamau. Mango magic. Mango jizz. First fap when I actually saw my semen. I've been fapping since a little kid, like 7 or 8, and had no idea what I was doing. I always did it wearing clothes and assumed it was a bit of pee leaking from penis when I come. One day I did it without wearing clothes and saw my semen for the first time. I fainted. I ran to mom and she laughed and said, "You'll find out soon in school." Lamau. May I ask why you started that young? Curious BC. I have a son and honestly trying to keep his childhood alive as long as possible, after hearing too many horror stories of his dad as a preteen. Lol. I was horny but queuing up for another match on my Xbox. I ran to the bathroom and fired one out and returned before the match started. Lightning fap. Winner. Winner. Choked, chicken dinner. Wiener. Fapping to my wife as she watched. Gotta be one of my better faps. Fapping to this guy's wife as she watched. Fapping to this guy, fapping to that guy's wife. Just fapping thinking about this guy fapping. I'll get back to you after once I've finished. The first time I ever double orgasmed. It wasn't even that long ago, too. I had the house to myself for an extended period of time, which is super duper rare. So I started right away and took my time. Edged a bit, let myself be picky about my porn, turned my headphones up, good lube, everything was bliss. When the pop happened it was so intense and everything was so sensitive but not painful, so I just barely kept going. Like micro movements, and the second O rode in right behind the first. It was surreal. Haven't been able to replicate it since, but I did brag to my wife that night after the kid went to sleep. Lol. First time I ever used my fleshlight. This happened. Also one time on December 1st. Lol, never been able to do it since. You must have been loaded from NNN. That was the joke, yeah. Lol. The double bust during the toilet break in a 3-hour advanced chemistry class comes to mind. 2-hour edge sesh with plenty of imaginative fantasy and just the right timing, position, and sensation for a satisfying release. Sir, this is an HR meeting. I know, just the right timing. Could have just been an email. HR equals hand release, what's the problem? Not mine, I gotta give this one to my ex who came 14 times on Christmas. Jingle balls, jingle all the way. On the 14th day of Christmas my true love came for me. That one where you look and say that was a really good one, and you don't feel any regrets after it. Such as not looking at porn. Genius. It's funny because it's true. Hentai it is then. When I was a teenager, 11-13, whenever I would go shopping with my family, I would stay and wait in the van while everyone else went in the store. The back windows were tinted and I hung a blanket up so no one could see by looking in the front window. I would masturbate in the back seat as people walked by. The closer they got, the bigger the thrill was. Thankfully I didn't develop a habit or kink of this and stopped on my own. Lol. That van probably stank of cum or veg. Your poor fucking family. And veg. Sex offender speed run. This one time I edged so long I almost hit the ceiling. I was pretty proud of that one. I hit the ceiling once, in my younger days. The key is drugs. Don't want to sound stupid, but what is edging? Edging means getting yourself ABT to come and then stopping, and this cycle goes on and on until finally you decide to let it go. It gives intense orgasm and also lots of cum. My wife likes it when I fap in front of her and she watches, so I'm proud when she's turned on by it. What does she do when she watches? Smiles and waves. You're doing great, sweetie. r/unexpected wholesome. Feel proud every time I am able to get a good satisfying jerk off with that haven't jerked off in a while rush while only using my fantasy. Makes me think that I haven't completely fried my shit with nasty porn. I definitely comb 3 times as more when I haven't masturbated in a few days. I feel like as I get older jerking off just gets less and less fun. Now and then though you get a good hour-long, legs are shaking uncontrollably and my eyes are rolling back in my head and it really just makes it so much nicer. Once, while in college, I was studying while listening to a classical radio station, a ridiculous attempt to convince myself that I'm cultured. All of a sudden the mood for a fap took me just as Griegs in the Hall of the Mountain King was playing, and I subconsciously found myself keeping rhythm with the music. Just as the tune reached its climax, I did too. And I can tell ya, I've never felt more like a god than in that moment. It was years before I was allowed in that library again. First comment to make me laugh out loud in a long time. Best comment here so far. I've never felt more like a god than in that moment. Made laugh so much, thank you. I went on a first date, but she didn't want to have sex afterward. So we dry humped. I did a whole bunch of foreplay things, and she actually came just for me dry humping HWR in the exact right spot and kissing her neck. I went home and very proudly fapped after that, to that. Still do, it was so hot. The ones where I'm not watching anything, no weird porn rabbit holes, it's just me and my imagination/memories and, I insert my wife. Yeah you do. I thought you were supposed to insert yourself into your wife. Clearly, this works differently than I was led to believe. Either my first fap or this one time where my cum flew across the room and it caught me off guard. Wait, you were across the room but it still caught you off guard? Glitch. The first time. We're all just chasing that high again, aren't we? 12 years old in a public swimming pool in Texas. Never tapped before. I'm holding onto the side of the pool, looking at some girl in a bikini, Slightly interested. Somehow I moved in front of the place where the water streams into the pool underwater. The water is hitting my dick and I get a boner in 20 seconds, and in less than a minute I'm overwhelmed by a gigantic pleasurable sensation in my dick, and that first orgasm just about knocks me unconscious. Then I worried that I had impregnated the girls that were in the pool. Best orgasm I had until my first BJ. Then I worried that I had impregnated the girls that were in the pool. Tell me you received bad sex without telling me you received bad sex. I cranked one out on a portashitter in Iraq in 100+ degree heat with a mountain of shit under me. All I had was some sunblock and an issue of Maxim from the UK with titty pics for some contest and a little black book. This was 2005 and thankfully I've yet to have a more challenging FAP. An issue of Maxim from the UK. This is where the coalition forces gained most of their strength. They should boil this down to a strapline for the magazine. That black book stayed in my pack for the duration of our deployment. Fortunately by my next deployment I had upgraded to bootleg porn on my iPod.